Hi everyone, welcome to Kids Kitchen. I'm Miss Christina and today I'm going to show you how to make cheeseburger cups. So it's summer right now, which means a lot of us are probably grilling, and what are some of the things you make most on the grill? Hot dogs and hamburgers, right? But I'm going to show you a way you can do it inside that is convenient and cute because it's a tiny little cup. So first I'm going to show you the things that you'll need and then we'll get started. So you're going to need some canned biscuits. I've got these butter ones, but they also have buttermilk, doesn't matter. Just some canned refrigerated biscuits. You'll need a pound of ground beef. Now, if you're a vegetarian or if you want some alternatives, you can do that as well. So if you don't like beef, you can do turkey, or they sell like soy crumbled meat substitute that you can use. You'll need ketchup, some of this sauce that I have never learned how to pronounce correctly. Good luck with that one. You'll need mustard, brown sugar, some cheese, some salt and pepper, a little cooking spray, and then your toppings. So whatever you like to put on top of your cheeseburger that's not already included in that list of ingredients. So some examples might be pickle chips, which I've got here. You could do some shredded lettuce, maybe some avocado, or if you're feeling extra fancy, you could do bacon or onions, anything like that. Whatever you would normally put on a burger, you can put on your cheeseburger cup. So that's about it for all of our ingredients and everything. So the first thing you need to do is to brown your ground beef. So you're just going to make it on the stove. You can use a big pan like this, and you want to use some oil. Let that heat up in your pan. So I'm going to do that, and you want to do like medium heat. You don't want to burn it, and you don't want it to be too low, otherwise it'll be sitting there forever. So I'm just going to put a little spray in there, and I'm going to get this going. Medium. Okay, and then once that's ready and nice and heated up, I'm gonna put my ground beef in there as I flick meat all over the room. So how do you know when your ground beef is ready to go? Well, it turns brown. See, when it's raw, it's red like that, but you'll see it's gonna turn nice and brown. And then you want to drain it. So you'll need to get rid of the oil, the excess oil that's in the pan, because as you cook it, it's going to be releasing some of those oils. So all you need to do, or all you need to add to it, is just a little salt and pepper. If you want to, you can do some garlic, or if you like it a little spicier, maybe some chili powder or something like that. But I'm going to keep it super simple because we're going to get a lot of flavor from our toppings. So, let's see, it's taken a minute to heat up. While that's doing that, I'm going to grab a spatula so that I can turn my meat. You want to make sure that you aren't letting it get burnt and crispy, so you'll have to move it around in the pan. It doesn't take too long to brown, usually just like 5 minutes or so, depending on your particular stove, but a grown-up will be able to help you with that. So let me grab a spatula. I'm just going to use this one, and I think that's good to put it in there. So I'm just going to dump the whole thing in and then spread it around. You want to make it a nice even layer so that it gets a chance to cook as evenly as possible. If you leave it a big huge mound in the center, then it's going to cook that bottom, and then you're going to have a bunch that's not cooked yet. So it just goes faster if you spread it out from the get-go. So move that around. I have a little bit more than a pound in mine. Sometimes the package is not going to have the exact amount that you want, but you just adjust accordingly if you need to. So I might just have like an extra burger cup. That's fine. So I've got my ground beef in there, and I'm gonna just add a little salt and pepper. I don't really measure. This is just to give it a little bit of flavor, but not too much. Do that, and then some salt. Okay, and then you're just gonna mix it in there. Okay. So I'm gonna let that cook, and then I will come back to you when it's ready to go. Okay, I'm back. So my ground beef is ready to go. It's gonna look like that. So you can tell it's not red anymore. It's a nice brown color. And I've drained the oil out of the pan. So make sure you have a grown-up help you with that, because working with hot oil can be really dangerous. And they might have a special way that they like to dispose of it. So I've got the oil out of there. And now we need to mix in some of these fun ingredients. So the stove is off. It's not hot anymore, but the meat is still hot. So it's going to make it easier to mix things up. So we're going to mix in there some ketchup. We need half a cup of ketchup. So just gonna, and if you are a big ketchup fan, you can put more on top of your burger once it comes out. This is just to give the meat some flavor. Okay. And because I have more than a pound of ground beef, I'm gonna just add a little extra. Okay. Then we're gonna add our mustard, and we need 1 tablespoon of mustard. Okay. Make sure you give your bottle a good shake first, because sometimes it gets that gross liquid on the top. And then again, I'm going to add a little extra just because I have more. Okay, and then our sauce that I can't pronounce. We need, let's see, how much of this do we need? 1 teaspoon. So a little bit less than the mustard. And then, of course, extra splash for me. Okay, and then we're going to mix this up. Make sure everything gets stirred really thoroughly so it gets all of those flavors into all of the ground beef. If you don't mix it well enough, then you're going to have some ground beef that doesn't taste like anything. But we want the cheeseburger flavor in there already. Okay. So at this point, you want to make sure you turn your oven on. We're going to be baking our cheeseburger cups at 400 degrees. So once your oven is preheated and ready to go, then you'll be able to pop them in. But this would be a good time in the process to do it, because we still have a few more steps before we can put them in the oven. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. Kind of looks like Sloppy Joe's because it's got all that red sauce in it from the ketchup and the sauce that starts with a W. Okay, so we're going to be using a muffin tin to make our cups. So a pound of ground beef is going to make about 8 of them. Like I said, I have extra, so I'm going to use a slightly bigger one. But you just want to give it a little spritz again. Because we don't want our cheeseburger cups to stick. So here is the fun or scary part, depending on your view of it. You're going to open this can up. So it can be a little scary sometimes, because if you're not expecting the loud pop, then it can catch you off guard. Okay, so you're just going to put 1 biscuit into a cup. Let me move my camera a little bit. Okay, and then you're going to shape it into a cup. So you're going to make sure you have nice, clean hands. So I'm just going to plop mine in first, and then I'm going to mold them. So usually these cans come with 8, so that's a pretty good amount for our biscuits. Okay, so you just kind of smush it down with your finger. You want it to have a nice, you know, a high side so that you can put your toppings and your meat in there, and that's not going to spill out. So, get to be a little bit of a sculptor at this point. Okay. So you're just turning your biscuits into little bowls. Okay, almost done. Okay, one more. Perfect. And I'm just checking my recipe here. Then we're going to fill all of our cups with our ground beef. So you might want to use a spoon for this. Let me grab a nice big one. It's a little bit easier. So you're just going to add it right in there. Okay. Just like that. So you want to fill all of your little biscuit cups with hamburger meat. Okay, and then you're going to bake it for 10 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees. So at about 10 minutes, give it a check, and you want your biscuits to be golden brown. Okay, they're going to go back in the oven after we add some cheese, but first we have to cook them like this. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and I'll check back in with you when those are ready. Okay, everybody, they are out of the oven, so let me show you what they look like now. So the biscuits are kind of a golden brown color. We don't want to overcook them because they do have to go back in the oven for a couple more minutes. So now you get to add your cheese. You can use sliced cheese. I'm going to use shredded. And you just put as much as you want on top. Just like that. And then they go back in the oven for 5 more minutes, but keep an eye on them, especially if yours are big like mine. They might start to melt and bubble over. So about 5 minutes, but check in on them at about 4. Okay, so here they are finally. They are all done. So it's time to put our toppings on there, and you can do whatever you want, whatever you would like to put on a burger. So maybe you love ketchup, you can put a little extra drizzle. Or maybe you're a big mustard fan, you could do some mustard. Maybe throw a couple pickles on there. Some shredded lettuce. And I love avocado, so you could do a couple little strips of avocado for some nice healthy fat. Whoop. Something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put some toppings on all of these and enjoy. So I hope you have fun making these. Let me know how they turn out, or send us a picture to the children's email address. I'd love to see. They look delicious. Okay, see you next time.